If you've ever zoned into a new Mythic Plus key and immediately forgotten everything you just watched on your dungeon guide, this is for you. I've built the Bog's Adventures dungeon cheat sheets to fix exactly this. A clean, color-coded dungeon overview tool which is designed to sit on your second monitor while you play, so you can glance at it mid-run without getting overwhelmed. The goal was simple, to make something that is easy to refer to mid-run and refresh your memory on different mechanics. Get to a boss and you suddenly can't remember the main mechanic? Just glance over, it's right there. Not sure whether that swirly is a soak or an AoE more deadly than standing barefoot on concrete in the middle of an Australian summer? No need to stress, the cheat sheet will clearly tell you. But I didn't want this to just be another static dungeon guide. One of the hardest things about Mythic Plus isn't just knowing what all the mobs do, it's also understanding how your specific class interacts with each pull. So alongside the cheat sheet, the tool also includes a built-in drop-down that shows every single class's utility spells and how they interact with each pull of the dungeon. Dispels, immunities, movement tools, stops, all of it is linked to the specific pack or boss that you're fighting. Before we dive in, this isn't meant to fully replace dungeon guides. Think of it more as like a mid-key reference tool. I'll link creators like Topics, Shah, or Tactics below. Their full guides are excellent. Also, the website is currently only PC compatible. Don't try it on mobile. It'll look worse than my bank account after a trip to my local Pokemon card store. So first up, let's jump into Algathar Academy as an example. In this first room here, we can see immediately that our priority targets are the Vile Lashes. They are marked with the exclamation mark icon, so we need to be putting the most damage into these. We're dodging ground swirlies, and we're also watching for the Skitterfly's darting sting. If we're stung, we defensive because that is marked as yellow. At a glance, we know exactly what matters in this pull. But we're also playing a druid, so let's grab that from the drop-down on the website. Now we can see exactly how our utility interacts with this pack. After the Skitterfly's cast Agitation, we can use our Soothe to remove the Enrage. We can see that we can also use Ursol's Vortex to stop them from diving onto players outside of range. So now we also know what our class specifically can do to mitigate some of the abilities of this pack. Let's fast forward a bit to this Guardian Sentry mini-boss instead. Hypothetically, let's say that from the dungeon guides we watched earlier, we know that we have to run out of this massive AoE circle. But as we're doing it, we can see that's a long way to move every time. So let's check the sheet. Right here, you can see it reminds us that we can line of sight the cast behind the pillar instead of running the full distance out of the circle. I'm tanking, so I can position the boss next to the pillar and make this fairly trivial for all the melee and myself. Now on top of this, let's just pretend we're playing Death Knight. If we select Death Knight, we can also notice that Death's Advance makes us immune to both the damage and the knockback. This means that if we're a Death Knight, we can completely ignore this mechanic. So just like Death Knights have done with every single other mechanic for the last 2 years. And yes, I am a little bit salty. So the goal of this tool isn't to fully teach us what to do in the dungeon, it's to give us like a mid-key resource basically. If the detailed video guides are like studying prior to an exam, this tool is like the cheat sheet that you're allowed to take into the test itself. The boss pages work the same way, just with a little bit more detail. Let's have a look at the Echo of Dorogosa, the final boss in Algathar. The main priorities are clearly marked in red. We need to be avoiding the frontal and managing the stacking overwhelming power debuff. In the extra notes, it outlines a few common strategies that we can use. We drop the puddles at 3 stacks of overwhelming power and then slowly kite the boss in the opposite direction. It even tells us here that we can sometimes intentionally take damage to control when we drop these puddles as well. So instead of sitting there guessing mid-fight and trying to recall what you saw on the video prior to doing the dungeon, you now have an easy reference point that you can glance to immediately to understand what you need to be doing. And that's basically the core of it. This tool is built for all of the 8 Season 1 Mythic Plus dungeons for Midnight, with every pull mapped out and the specific utility shown for every class. Now, with the sheer number of abilities and interactions in Mythic Plus, this will be something that I'm like constantly refining over time. If you notice that some utility is missed or a mechanic could be explained more clearly, there is going to be a pinned comment below this video where you can suggest updates. I'll be actively monitoring this throughout the entire season, and if your suggestion gets implemented, your name will also be added to the contributors section at the bottom of the Dungeon Guides tab. You'll also see that I'll add the last updated time so that you know that the sheet reflects the most recent changes to the dungeon pool. I basically want this to be like an evolving resource, something that improves over time as both my own knowledge and the community's knowledge of the Mythic Plus dungeons in this given season improves. But the dungeon cheat sheets aren't the only thing on the website. I have also made the Mythic Plus comp builder that lets you plug in your group and instantly see your available raid buffs, stops, utility coverage, and overall damage profile. It highlights basically what you're missing and helps you map out the group that you're putting together before you even start the key. On top of that, the quizzes section, this currently only features a class choice quiz that others seem to have really enjoyed up to this point. I will have more quizzes on the way, both for the fun of it as well as to help people improve at the game. My overarching goal with this website is pretty simple. I want to build as many tools that are genuinely useful to help people improve at Mythic Plus. And lastly, if you want more personalized help with improving in Mythic Plus, I'll be opening coaching to a limited number of people in the coming weeks. For those who don't know me, I've spent the last few seasons pushing title level Mythic Plus keys, and most of my content and time is focused on this area of the game. Coaching will be on a per request basis. I'll only be taking players that I think I can genuinely provide meaningful value to, whether that's key planning, gameplay reviews, specific spec or class coaching, or mindset. My goal will be practical, actionable improvement. If you're interested, you can apply through the coaching tab on the website. Big thanks to Ghost Splinter and the Joy of Checks for joining the Keystone Legend tier, as well as all of my other YouTube members. If you found this tool useful, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, thank you for watching, gamers. Have fun with Midnight Early Access. And until next time, take care.